Otto, the first letter is B. So the words I have for the letter B are basic, biofabric, behind the scenes, beauty, or body, or even batik.
I think I would choose just start with basic, I think.
B is for basic.
This is something that has fascinated me over the last, years. And that is what we do we have a basic approach to fashion, or what I sometimes would call sort of default, a sort of default mode, almost like you have default settings on your software or on things. It's like, is there a sort of a default basic setting or relationship to fashion, which is like just barely keeping up, getting just enough new clothes to be acceptable, to be sort of, to look enough like everyone else, but at the same time feel enough that you're expressing something about yourself. But there is a sort of a default setting that we all have on different levels, and that our current economy has been extremely efficient profiting on, in a sense, and that is everything. What we call fast fashion is basically not necessarily faster or quick or something else than everything else. I think we use a wrong term for what is something that I would rather call a sort of default setting of a sort of a basic fashion that most of us consume. And most of us, that's why they're so huge, because they have found exactly that point in the fashion economy where we all experience, or most, in the sense that it is default, that most of us connect on that level and consume fashion on that basic level. And we don't necessarily challenge any boundaries. We don't necessarily feel better about ourselves. We don't necessarily have a higher pleasure in life. It's something that is just default. It's basic fashion. And I think it's just, it's something interesting, because I think we disregard it and just call it fast fashion, and we just, write it off and say it's bad. And we don't really understand what is behind the scenes on this extremely big economy and extremely big engagement that we have on a general level across people for this very understudied, in a sense, and under-psychologized understanding for what is it that keeps us in this basic mode of just consuming default fashion that is just what is sort of churned out there. And if we're going to address sustainability and understand how to affect the fashion system, we can't just jump into haute couture and avant-garde and all these kind of other things. We need to understand and try to deal with the default settings of what the fashion industry has managed to capture us so efficiently. And us, I mean, general, huge numbers of consumers across society. Okay, that was basic.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Otto, I love it, because it was very surprising. Also, like your take on that word. Super.